The 5 vegetables that secretly stop muscle loss after 50. Doctors never explain this. Have you noticed that your legs don't feel as strong as they used to? Maybe climbing stairs leaves you winded. Maybe carrying groceries feels heavier than it did 5 years ago. Or perhaps you've caught yourself using your hands to push off the armrest just to stand up from a chair. If any of that sounds familiar, you're not alone. What surprises most people is that muscle loss doesn't suddenly begin at 80. It often starts decades earlier. In fact, after age 50, adults can lose as much as 1 to 2% of their muscle mass every year if they don't actively work to protect it. Over time, that loss adds up. And here's the scary part. Most people don't notice it until everyday tasks become difficult. Until balance becomes less stable. Until a simple stumble becomes a serious fall. Until independence starts slipping away. Now, you've probably heard the standard advice. Eat more protein. Lift weights. Stay active. And let me be clear, those things absolutely matter. But what if I told you there's another piece of the puzzle that rarely gets the attention it deserves? What if some of the most powerful foods for supporting muscle health aren't protein foods at all? What if certain vegetables can help improve circulation to your muscles, reduce the inflammation that accelerates muscle breakdown, support cellular repair, and help your body respond more effectively to the protein you're already eating? Today, I'm going to share 5 vegetables that stand out when it comes to supporting muscle health after 50. And the vegetable ranked number 1 isn't spinach. It isn't kale. It isn't one of those trendy superfoods that health influencers talk about every day. In fact, most people throw part of it in the trash without realizing what they're giving up. So stay with me until the end because the final vegetable may completely change the way you look at healthy aging. Before we begin, welcome to the channel. I'm Dr. David. Every week, I share science-based strategies designed to help adults over 50 stay healthy, active, independent, and confident as they age. If that sounds like something you'd find valuable, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. And while you're here, tell me your age and where you're watching from in the comments below. I love seeing viewers from all across America and around the world. Now let's begin with number 5. Number 5 is beetroot. Most people think of beets as nothing more than a colorful vegetable sitting quietly in the produce section. But inside your body, beetroot may help support something incredibly important for aging muscles. Circulation. Think of your bloodstream as a highway system. Oxygen, nutrients, amino acids, hormones, and other compounds travel through that highway every second of every day. Your muscles depend on those deliveries. But as we age, blood vessels can become less flexible. Circulation often becomes less efficient. And when circulation declines, muscles may not receive everything they need to repair and recover. Beetroot contains naturally occurring nitrates. Inside the body, these nitrates can be converted into nitric oxide, a compound that helps blood vessels relax and widen. Better blood flow means nutrients may reach muscle tissue more efficiently. For older adults, this is especially important because natural nitric oxide production tends to decline with age. Imagine spending money on high-quality protein, eating healthy meals, and staying active, yet the delivery system bringing those nutrients to your muscles isn't operating at full capacity. That's why circulation matters. I once worked with a gentleman named Robert. He was 72 years old and loved taking evening walks with his wife. Over time, he noticed those walks becoming shorter and shorter. He wasn't in pain. He simply felt tired more quickly. After improving several aspects of his diet, including adding more nitrate-rich vegetables, he began noticing that his walks felt easier. Not dramatically different overnight, but little by little, he felt less fatigued and more willing to stay active. That's important because movement is one of the strongest signals your body receives to maintain muscle. If you decide to include beetroot in your diet, roasting is one of the easiest preparation methods. Roasted beets can be added to salads, grain bowls, or enjoyed on their own. Some people enjoy pure beetroot juice as well. Just make sure you choose products without added sugars. Pairing beets with vitamin C-rich foods such as oranges, strawberries, or bell peppers may help maximize some of their benefits. Remember, the goal isn't finding a miracle food. The goal is creating an environment where your muscles have the best possible chance to thrive. Now let's move to number 4, spinach. When most people think about spinach, they think about iron. But that's only part of the story. What makes spinach especially interesting for adults over 50 is its impressive combination of nutrients and plant compounds that may help support muscle function and overall physical performance. One of the biggest challenges of aging is something researchers sometimes call anabolic resistance. That's a complicated term for a simple problem. As we get older, our muscles become less responsive to the signals that tell them to repair and grow. In other words, your body doesn't always respond to protein the same way it did when you were younger. That's one reason maintaining muscle becomes more difficult after 50. Spinach contains a variety of nutrients that may help support healthy muscle function, including magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, and several powerful antioxidants. Magnesium is particularly important because it plays a role in hundreds of biochemical reactions throughout the body, including muscle contraction and recovery. Many older adults don't get enough magnesium, yet it's essential for staying active and maintaining physical function. But there's another reason spinach deserves attention: balance. Every year, millions of older adults experience falls. Often, those falls occur because the muscles responsible for quick reactions have weakened over time. I remember a patient named Margaret. She was 74 and had gradually stopped attending community events because she worried about falling. Her fear wasn't irrational. She had already experienced a few close calls. Over several months, we focused on improving her nutrition, increasing physical activity, and building confidence. Spinach became a regular part of her meals. Combined with exercise and other healthy habits, she gradually became more active again. Eventually, she returned to family gatherings and community events she had avoided for years. The lesson isn't that spinach performed a miracle. The lesson is that small improvements, repeated consistently, can create meaningful changes over time. If you're looking for an easy way to enjoy spinach, try lightly sautéing it with olive oil and garlic. You can also add it to omelets, soups, smoothies, or salads. The key is consistency. Small habits practiced regularly almost always outperform extreme changes that don't last. Now let's talk about number 3, sweet potatoes. This vegetable often gets overlooked because it's so common. But when it comes to supporting healthy aging, sweet potatoes have several advantages worth discussing. Have you ever wondered why recovery takes longer than it used to? Why a workout leaves you sore for days? Why a busy afternoon can feel exhausting? Part of the answer may involve tiny structures inside your cells called mitochondria. Think of mitochondria as the power plants of your body. Every muscle contraction requires energy, and mitochondria help produce that energy. The challenge is that mitochondrial efficiency tends to decline with age. As those energy-producing systems become less effective, muscles may struggle to recover and perform at their best. Sweet potatoes contain beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. They also provide fiber, antioxidants, and other nutrients that support overall health. One reason I like sweet potatoes is that they provide a steady source of energy. Unlike highly processed carbohydrates that can create dramatic spikes and crashes in blood sugar, sweet potatoes are often better tolerated when included as part of a balanced meal. But perhaps the most overlooked benefit involves gut health. Scientists are increasingly discovering connections between the gut and nearly every aspect of health, including muscle function. A healthier digestive system may improve nutrient absorption, reduce inflammation, and help the body make better use of the nutrients it receives. Sweet potatoes contain fiber and resistant starch that help support beneficial gut bacteria. An easy trick is to cook sweet potatoes and refrigerate them overnight. This process increases resistant starch content. You can eat them cold the next day or gently reheat them. It's a simple change that may provide additional benefits. Pair sweet potatoes with foods rich in healthy fats and vitamin D, such as salmon, eggs, or sardines, to create a nutrient-dense meal that supports healthy aging from multiple angles. And now we're entering the final stretch. The next 2 vegetables are, in my opinion, the most surprising and the most powerful on today's list. One of them may already be sitting in your refrigerator right now. The other is a food that countless people throw away every single week without realizing its potential. Before we continue, I want to ask you a quick question. Which vegetable on today's list has surprised you the most so far? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're finding this information helpful, take a second to hit the like button. It helps this video reach more adults who want to stay strong, independent, and active as they age. Number 2 is broccoli. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Broccoli? Really? Out of all the vegetables in the world, broccoli makes the top 2. It does. And once you understand why, you'll never look at this vegetable the same way again. The reason broccoli is so remarkable has very little to do with the vitamins listed on the nutrition label. The real magic comes from a naturally occurring compound called sulforaphane. Over the past 2 decades, sulforaphane has become one of the most studied plant compounds in nutrition science. Researchers have examined its potential role in healthy aging, inflammation management, cellular protection, and muscle function. Here's why that matters. As we age, our bodies face a constant battle against low-grade chronic inflammation. You may not feel it. You may not notice it. But over time, chronic inflammation can contribute to the breakdown of muscle tissue and make recovery more difficult. Think of it like rust slowly forming on a piece of metal. You don't notice it day by day, but over the years, the damage becomes obvious. Sulforaphane appears to help support the body's natural defense systems against oxidative stress and inflammation. That's important because muscles don't just need building materials. They also need protection. Imagine trying to renovate a house while someone is damaging the walls every night. No matter how hard you work, progress becomes difficult. That's what chronic inflammation can do to aging muscles. Another fascinating aspect of broccoli involves a protein called myostatin. You can think of myostatin as the body's natural brake pedal for muscle growth. In younger years, this brake helps regulate muscle development. But as we age, myostatin activity may become a larger obstacle to maintaining strength. Scientists have explored whether compounds found in broccoli may help support a healthier balance within these muscle-regulating pathways. While broccoli isn't a miracle cure, it may help create a more favorable environment for preserving muscle tissue. I remember a patient named Theodore. He spent most of his life working construction. For decades, he was the person everyone called when they needed help moving furniture, fixing a fence, or completing a project. But after retirement, he noticed something unsettling. He wasn't as strong as he used to be. Tasks that once felt easy became exhausting. Eventually, he stopped volunteering for physical activities because he feared becoming the weak link. When we reviewed his lifestyle, one thing stood out. His diet lacked many of the vegetables and nutrient-dense foods that support healthy aging. Over time, we improved his nutrition, increased physical activity, and encouraged him to include broccoli regularly. Several months later, he told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Dr. David, I finally feel useful again. Not because he suddenly became young. Not because he turned into an athlete. But because he regained confidence in his body. And confidence is powerful. When people feel stronger, they move more. When they move more, they help maintain strength. It's a positive cycle. If you want to maximize broccoli's benefits, preparation matters. Instead of immediately cooking it, try chopping it first and letting it sit for about 30 to 40 minutes. This allows natural chemical reactions to occur that help generate sulforaphane. Afterward, lightly steam it rather than overcooking it. You want bright green broccoli, not gray, mushy broccoli. Some experts even recommend adding a small sprinkle of mustard powder after cooking because it may help enhance sulforaphane formation. Whether you enjoy broccoli in soups, salads, stir-fries, or as a simple side dish, consistency is what matters most. And now we've arrived at number 1. The vegetable almost nobody expected. The vegetable that many people throw away. The vegetable that may be one of the most overlooked foods for healthy aging. Number 1 is beet greens. Yes, the leafy tops attached to beetroot. The very part many people cut off and toss into the trash. If you've ever purchased fresh beets, there's a good chance you've thrown away these leaves without giving them a second thought. But what if those leaves are actually one of the most valuable parts of the plant? Beet greens are packed with nutrients that support healthy aging. They contain magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, vitamin C, folate, antioxidants, and several other compounds that play important roles throughout the body. One nutrient researchers find especially interesting is betaine. Betaine participates in processes that help cells function properly and support healthy metabolism. While most people have never heard of it, betaine has attracted attention because of its potential role in supporting muscle health and recovery. Think about what your muscles go through every day. Every walk, every step, every movement creates microscopic wear and tear. That's normal. Healthy muscles are constantly breaking down and rebuilding themselves. The challenge is that this repair process often becomes less efficient with age. That's one reason recovery takes longer and strength becomes harder to maintain. Beet greens provide a powerful combination of nutrients that support many of the systems involved in muscle maintenance. Magnesium supports muscle contraction and relaxation. Potassium helps maintain communication between nerves and muscles. Vitamin C contributes to collagen production, which supports tendons and connective tissues. Antioxidants help protect cells from oxidative stress. Together, these nutrients create a nutritional package that aging muscles can benefit from. I remember speaking with a woman named Eleanor. She was 76 years old and frustrated because she felt weaker despite trying to eat more protein. Like many people, she focused almost entirely on protein while overlooking overall nutrient density. Once we began emphasizing vegetables, particularly leafy greens, she started noticing gradual improvements. She felt steadier during walks. Her recovery after activity improved, and perhaps most importantly, she regained confidence in her ability to stay active. That confidence encouraged her to move more, and moving more helped reinforce the progress she was making. Beet greens can be prepared much like spinach. Wash them thoroughly, remove any tough stems if desired, and lightly sauté them with olive oil and garlic. They can also be added to soups, omelets, and vegetable dishes. Their flavor is slightly earthy and surprisingly enjoyable when prepared correctly. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. What do all 5 of these vegetables have in common? Beetroot helps support circulation. Spinach provides nutrients that support muscle function and balance. Sweet potatoes help support energy production and digestive health. Broccoli contributes compounds associated with healthy aging and cellular protection. Beet greens deliver a remarkable combination of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and nutrients that support muscle maintenance. But here's the most important thing I want you to remember. No single vegetable is going to save your muscles. No food works like magic. The people who age successfully don't rely on one secret ingredient. They build strong daily habits. They move their bodies regularly. They prioritize sleep. They stay socially connected. They manage stress. They eat nutrient-dense foods consistently. Small actions repeated over months and years often produce extraordinary results. Too many adults believe muscle loss is simply an unavoidable part of getting older. They believe weakness is inevitable. They believe decline is guaranteed. I don't believe that. Aging is real. Our bodies change. But there is a huge difference between aging and giving up. Every day, I meet adults in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who continue building strength, improving mobility, and surprising themselves with what they're capable of accomplishing. Not because they discovered a miracle, not because they found a magic supplement, but because they committed to consistent habits that supported their health. So here's my challenge to you. This week, choose just one vegetable from today's list and add it to your meals. That's it. Don't try to change everything overnight. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. Then next week, add another healthy habit. Small improvements are easier to maintain, and sustainable habits create lasting results. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend, spouse, sibling, or family member who wants to stay strong and independent as they age. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly videos. Before you go, tell me in the comments which vegetable surprised you the most. Was it beetroot, spinach, sweet potatoes, broccoli, or beet greens? I read as many comments as possible, and I genuinely enjoy hearing from you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself. Stay active. Stay curious. And remember this, you're never too old to become stronger than you were yesterday. I'll see you in the next video.